Hello from the sewing room again. Welcome back. I'm Daisy. If you've been here before, you'll have seen my sewing videos. Today I'm going to talk to you about a rather last minute make that I'm planning for Christmas. So I've actually got a time scale for it, which is about 24 hours. So it's a bit of another hurry up holiday sewing, and that could be the holiday in the festive sense. But yeah, I need this quite quickly, although I'm not even entirely sure if I'm going to need it with the urgency with which I'm making it. So anyway, I'm going to give it a go, and if I don't wear it, then I'm going to have a new top. So today's sew is going to be, wait for it, shock horror, not vintage. It's a pattern from Magical Weave on Etsy for just a regular stretchy top. And this is the top, so it's got some really nice gathering on the front, which gives it a nice detail. So you can't see it very well on there. Unfortunately, my printer doesn't print in colour when it prints the pattern. So there is another picture here of the actual top being modelled. So that's a little bit better picture. I don't know. Ah, there you see. That's a bit better view of the gathers on the top. And I wasn't initially sure if I had enough fabric. But I was rummaging around, having a clear out in my fabric box, just remnants, the other day, and I found some really nice gold fabric. This is it. This is, there you go, turn it that way in the light. Nice shimmery gold fabric. It's quite thin, it's not a thick knitted fabric, so it's perfect for this design because there's going to be a lot of gathers on the front, which gives it the detail. So there's only 3 pieces to this pattern. So the one I've just showed you, that's the back. We've got sleeve, and then we've got this rather unusual all-in-one front piece, which, there you go back, you can see that. So I'm doing that on a lateral view for you. Here we've got an armhole and another armhole here. So this bit is going to be gathered here, and then there's going to be some gathering here. So that's what's going to give the gathers and the detail in the top. So 4 pieces all together. Can I do it? Can I do this in 24 hours? I think there might be a bit of extra sewing because I'm going to need some facings around the neckline. But yeah, let's give it a go. So I've read the instructions, and it says to use a stretch needle. So I've popped a ballpoint needle into the machine there, and it also tells me to lower the tension because I'm going to do some gathering stitches. So I've lowered it to 1. This is new to me, and actually these instructions, although quite specific, I think could be useful. Yeah, I'm quite liking this. Well, so much for reading the instructions. I turned the tension down to 1 to run the gathering stitch, and all I ended up with was a whole load of loops on the underside of my row of stitching. So I had to unpick those and do that line of stitching again on a regular tension. On the upside, what I have ended up with is a nice gathered shoulder here. However, the neck. It's very small and I don't think it's going to fit over my head without a little bit of, shall we say, modification. I've now attached both of the sleeves to the bodice, and this is the shape that I've got. And just here, that's the next bit to sew. And we're going to put some gathers in there now. Here's the front pattern piece again, and it very helpfully has some marks here and here to show where the gathering stitches need to start and finish, and I guess that's helpful when you're doing the hem and the underarm seam, so you don't have gathers where you're actually attaching the seam. So I've popped the gathers in, pulled them up and pinned it, and the gathers here, they're quite tight, so it's just a case of making sure that all the little edges of the fabric are facing upwards, so you catch them in the right place when you do your actual line of stitching. Here's what I have so far. Now, the sleeves looked a little bit tight, so I'll just give you a demo here. This is the seam that I've sewn together. As you can see, that's just, well, it's kind of spray on. So what I did after I'd sewn that seam, realising the other side was going to be exactly the same, was I cut a piece of fabric as an insert. Now, can you see that? There we go. All the way along the side, and also, there we go, down the sleeve. So now, I'm going to give it a little try on. That is a better fit. I knew there'd be a save. We haven't dealt with the collar yet though, so keep watching. So here's my fix for the too tight neck on the top, and what I've done is cut a slash into the back of the neck, just far enough so I can get my head comfortably through. So I've cut two front facings, one for the front and one for the back, and I will just sew round the back facing where the slash is on the neckline, and then cut down into the facing and turn it the wrong way round so that it's faced the actual garment. With regard to cutting out the front facing, I used this pattern here, but as you can see on the actual pattern sheet it's isometric, so what I did was just drew a line down the middle of the pattern piece on the bit that wasn't isometric, and just used that little bit there as the whole of the facing. And here it is, the finished article, looking all gorgeous, glittery and shimmery. And if I just give a little up light there, you can see how the light's catching those shoulder gathers, and down to the waist, some more gathers there. Yep, I can say took me about 3 hours roughly, not including the cutting out of the pattern, so it's not bad for a new top. I just finished off the ends with some pinking shears there, so it doesn't really have a great hem on it. Looking around the back, I added a little gold button. That neck opening is a little bit wide for my liking, but I can maybe do something with that. Anyway, there we go. One finished gold top. So that, as they might say, is a wrap on the gold holiday top and my last minute sew of this foil garment. I hope you've enjoyed watching along. If you would like to make it, as I say, it's a pattern from Magical Weave and it's called the Mock Neck with Gathering. It took me about 3 hours to make, and that's bearing in mind that I had to add the panels in the side. So if you do decide to make this, please bear in mind, don't do as I do and not forget to add the seam allowances. I'm sure it'll turn out great. So that's it for the moment, and I'm not sure that I'll have enough time to post any new content or any new makes before the end of the year. So if I don't, I wish you a happy Christmas, and I hope you get lots of sewing related presents. And if you like what you see, hopefully you can follow along. There hasn't been any video of me wearing the top, but I'm sure some of that will come to light on my Instagram account, Daisy Creates Glam. So if you want to see the top in action, then pop over to there and give me a follow. But for now, have a lovely Christmas and see you next year.